That's why they themselves are ruled over the all-seeing eye, the Eye of Horus. It's what watches over our realm. Welcome to the first episode of Enlightenedad. Many of you may have come over from TikTok, where I've seemed to have garnered a little bit of attention on my videos, which are based around esoteric knowledge and information. So I want to be straightforward. I am new to esoteric knowledge and haven't really entered my path of enlightenment up until about this last year. I'm just one of you that is learning and adapting and trying to decode this matrix that we live in. Now, with that being said, one of the biggest roadblocks I've come across in finding the truth to this reality is the effect that it has on other people and how they begin to perceive you. These truths that you'll all hopefully come across will make you see the world in a different light, and many of the things that you once indulged in or enjoyed will begin to become irrelevant. Now, this isn't a bad thing, and it's not a good thing. It just is what it is. Ultimately, I want to be clear that this is my truth that I've come to, and you live whatever truth that you have come to. I love all of you regardless. So the esoteric knowledge that I've been brought to was all done in a way that can't really be repeated back in words to others. It was all done internally and transcends language, so it's impossible to explain back in words to another and absolutely impossible to project onto another spiritually. Because it's internal, it is only there for you to find. But here's a process that is easiest for me to try and use words and explain it through my throat chakra. One technique that I have to explain really quickly is what's called gematria, or gematria. Now, gematria is just an alphanumerical code that can be broken down into different ciphers. All these ciphers depend on the specific language that you are using, as those different languages or order of letters will deliver a different number. These different ciphers may be something as simple as a reversal of letters going from A, B, C, 1, 2, 3 to reversing back as ZYX 1, 2, 3. Then you have a decode calculator. Once you input full words or sentences into these decode calculators, it will do the math for you, and you will be delivered with a numerical value representing the word. Now, this is where the fun comes in, because when you start looking at the right names or words or phrases, you'll begin to start to see the code of this world. And this is one of the most massive explosions of your pineal gland that you can experience. If you just give it your full awareness with no outside projections, no past experiences or influences of your life, it will at least cause you to be curious, and you wouldn't ever dismiss it quickly. I'll drop a link below to a video that explains gematria very well in all in about an hour. Somebody has already produced that information, so I will go ahead and let them explain it. But back to my video, I've had some serious pain coming from family members because they're upset that I'm not religious and they believe I don't think in God. This would be as hard as it is for a normal person, but because those who haven't snapped out of this matrix, or realm as we would call it, definitely look at you funny when you start talking about decoding, gematria, astrology, or any esoteric knowledge. Nonetheless, I still try and make my case, and would start first by using this argument. When you think of the word religion, you probably don't think of anything other than a word. But from my point of view, I look at religion as Ra-ligion, or the Legion of Ra. You'll find that most all energy is orchestrated through the language, which is then passed to influence and then to control. And what are we all controlled by? Many different versions of astrological gods, numbers, or planets. And that is what most religion is worshipped through, or Ra-ligion, sun worship. The sun is the Egyptian god Ra. That's what it represents. Or it could also be represented through the sun, which is inside the Vatican. You can see the sun in this religion everywhere. Also the Son of God, but not the Son of God, it is the Son of God. The Bible most people read is heavily edited by the Vatican and has been changed through different languages as time has gone on. The Bible of today is not the full story of what has actually happened. Again, I want to reiterate, this is my view. I'm not trying to change anyone's beliefs. But anybody who is religious that denies that statement is also denying their own religion of the Bible itself. as stated in Genesis 11:7. Come, let us go down and there confuse their language, that they may not understand one another's speech. Ergo, I don't believe or disbelieve in the Bible. It is just what it is. Now, when you use gematria with Bible names and verses, it can get very interesting. Lucifer, Jesus, and gematria are all 74 in English ordinal. And all of these three things are used to rule over religion, and the entire world for that matter. You see, all they are the white square and the black square, the Masonic checkerboard. Inside of this Masonic temple, you have the pillars of Yakin and Boaz. The Masons are just the next step down inside of the pyramid, which is the pyramid of control. This is how they control you and get you to play their game on the board. That's why they themselves are ruled over the all-seeing eye, the Eye of Horus. It's what watches over our realm, and Horus is just another phrase for Saturn. And Saturn worship is everywhere. So it is the eye of Saturn that we can see through. This is what our matrix we live in is coded by. And when you're looking into the eye of Saturn, it is just the Fibonacci spiral, which breaks down to pi. Now, you can see this eye with deep meditation and through forms of healthy cognitive breathing exercises that will open your pineal gland inside of your brain. You see, the Eye of Horus, the all-seeing eye that many think is so evil, is inside of you. It's clearly shown inside of your brain here. And the pineal gland, which produces DMT, helps and improves your connection to your spirit or the true energy. There are many other ways of opening the gland, but foregoing taking any psychedelics, the most safe and effective method you can use is through breathing, meditation, cold bathing, or cold water plunges. I practice all of these and they have done absolute wonders for my life. Now, the Fibonacci swirl, which is where everything is visible and where everything is coded through, is also the tetragrammaton, the same Jewish word for God. It is what our world is coded in. You can break it down farther into elements which can make up our reality, but ultimately it's just the god of Saturn. And like I said, Saturn's not evil. It can be used for evil, and its energy can be used for evil. But I feel even like some of my TikTok videos get a perspective of Saturn a little bit confused. Saturn has its qualities that can make it seem evil or bad, but ultimately it's just one of the gods. Saturn can teach you a lot when you look into its eye. The eye is how you bypass time and travel interdimensionally. You see, Saturn is Father Time. He is the Grim Reaper that swings his axe. Now, this right here, some of this information, just knowing that is what makes people like Freemasons and, ultimately all of us be willing to do whatever to discover. This is the knowledge of the world that is kept from us. This is why they work so hard to keep people enslaved through debt, religion, politics, race, and duality. Because duality is simply just the splitting of the consciousness. Why is it that the voice you hear inside of your head that you think is yourself also tells you to do negative things sometimes? Now, yes, we try not to act on them, and most people do a very good job at that, but the voice is still there regardless. If somebody does something negative to you, there's a good possibility you're going to respond with more negative, either directly or indirectly. This is the duality of ourselves. It's why so many fall into the narrative of the most irrelevant things like politics or race or war, things that corrupt our energy. And when you can begin to embrace the white and the dark, you can get yourself off the board that we're stuck on. And because when you're stripped away from all of this, you're left with no other place to search but to search within, inside of you. With no projections and parasites entering your chakras, you will ultimately look within and find your truth. And your truth is your truth, just like my truth is my truth. My truth is that it all comes down to taking fear and love and bringing them together as one. Now, if you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like this video. Go ahead and subscribe if you feel free to. We also have a free Discord that you can join access to other like-minded individuals where we're all helping each other and sharing information. And with that being said, take care and have a great day.